Okay, I'm gonna start with what is musicianship. If you look it up online, like I did, I found on dictionary.com that you get the definition is knowledge, skill, and artistic sensitivity in performing music. Now, I think that's a pretty good definition. I mean, it seems pretty textbook, though. So, to me, I think that's pretty good, but on top of that, it's doing more than what's on the page. It's playing more than what's on the page. So this really separates us from like a computer because a computer can play everything that's on the page way better than any of us can. But what a computer can't do is play like a musician. And so I mean this is good for us because it gives us a job because if they could play like a musician then we'd be out of the job. But what separates a musician from an accept or like musicianship from an exceptional musicianship is really exceptional musicianship is taking musicianship far beyond the level of the average musician. So this involves like knowing the piece inside and out and understanding how things like rhythm and articulation and tempo, how they can all affect the overall feeling of the piece. And this is really what people pay to hear, because this is what makes a difference between me and Chris Martin, who I'm about to play a recording of. I'm certainly not on his level. Um, but yeah, this is a recording of Chris Martin playing on trumpet. It's With Malice Toward None. It's written by John Williams and it was recorded for the movie Lincoln. So I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. Okay. In this, if you heard, there's a lot of fluctuation with the tempo. I mean, obviously, because it's freely. So he gets a lot of he gets a lot of like room to like pick what he wants to do in this because of how it's written. Um, so he gets to kind of fluctuate with the tempo of the piece. So you can kind of hear like normally on the last beat of each measure he kind of like slows it down just a little bit. But then he goes right back into his original tempo right when he gets to beat 1. So I think I really like this. It gives it kind of a push and pull feel to me. So it's like kind of pulling back on the last beat of the measure, and it kind of pushes forward on the first beat of the next measure. Kind of gives it that ocean wave feel. But next we're gonna listen to right here. Even though this section is marked differently, it's not freely, he still kind of gives it that same slowing of beat 4. And see, you could hear that really in this measure right here with these two 16th notes, and right here with these 3/16th notes especially, and here you can really hear the how he slows down Be da da dee. So he slows down on the last beat and goes back to normal on the first beat. And okay. In this section, you can hear like with the tuplets, he slows down. Like normally, if you're just reading this and you're like, I have to hit every note in every rhythm right, you would play all 7 of these tuplets right here. You'd play them all evenly spaced notes, but he doesn't do that in this. He takes like the first 2 notes and he slows them down, and then he plays the next 4 notes way faster, and then the last note just a little bit slower as he leads into the beat 1 of the next measure. He does this again with this tuplet right here too. So next section is right here, and we move back to freely, and again he's doing the push and pull with the beat 3 instead of beat 4, because this one's in 3/4. In this section, you can really hear, like with these grace notes right here, how he just slows down just a little bit right before them. Because, I mean, depending on what style you're playing, you could play those like really fast, but in this, he's matching the style of the piece by playing these a little bit slower. So the next section I consider to be probably the biggest like part of the piece. Very emotional, and there's a lot more push and pull in this section than there was in the previous sections. So yeah, you can really hear, especially at this note right here, probably could be considered the biggest like point in the piece, and he like really tells you that it is because he slows it down a lot. So the next part is the cadenza. So he's got pretty much full musical control of how he wants to play this next section. So we'll listen to that.